What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 184 of uh, Real Estate Podcast. I'm here with Griffin. I was looking at some notes, dude, and I almost read what it said.
I'm here. I'm here with Trav.
Good night, everybody.
Yep. All right, we'll see y'all later. Hit the outro.
We watched Halloween. You should too.
Yeah.
Good job.
I wasn't ready for that, dude.
I almost read what I was looking at, and I was like, and then I forgot what I was supposed to say.
You zoned out for
Only
just long enough.
184 episodes, dude. Give me a break, you know. I've only done almost shit. I've done most of the intro since we go live.
Yeah.
That's because
So-
I'm running the
De facto producer.
OBS
Yeah.
over here, not a sponsor.
Well, Adam.
You're the
Adam-
Negan of our tribe.
Well, he's producer, executive producer, writer, director, star.
they call
like
that a
he's-
super producer.
Are we shitting our pants yet?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So what did we watch?
Halloween, man. 1978.
Watched Halloween Town, the cult Disney classic.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, thrills,
York.
chills. The whole family loved it.
It's the one they
I
sang Boo York in.
I would rather watch Halloween Town over Hocus Pocus any day of the week.
I don't know if I
Ooh.
remember Halloween
I'm
Town.
gonna have to draw the line there, Griff.
I'm not a Hocus Pocus fan, man.
Trav, you picking Hocus Pocus over?
I'm picking Hocus Pocus, dude.
Man,
I
come
didn't
on.
picture you a Hocus
Yeah.
Pocus guy, dude.
Dude, Sarah
I
Jessica
saw this
Parker in her
movie.
prime as a witch.
I
Yeah,
saw
but-
this. They're making another Hocus Pocus, right?
I mean, I ain't gonna fuck
Yeah.
with no sequel, but like I remember.
Yeah, I remember this movie. The girl with the little medallion,
Yeah.
double dragon.
Well, it's a whole town
Yeah.
of Halloween.
This is Halloween. This is Halloween.
That's the true star.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch that over all of them. If I had to watch one.
When's the last time you guys watched this movie? Been a while?
It has been, yeah, it's been a minute for me, man.
Yeah. I don't know if this is really like. Look, man, don't get me wrong. You know, for what they were doing in the year and stuff, you know, it's got good shots. Like, it's like, you know, it's not the like first slasher kind of.
Well,
It's one of the biggest one of the first like big
It's the
franchises, though,
cleanest-
right?
It is the most polished Carpenter film I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's clean. Got some really cool shots. Like the
Every one of
opening
those,
shot.
every one of those Steadicam shots were fucking mint.
yeah. Well,
And
I
I
mean,
mean, and that's coming at you from '78, dude.
yeah.
I was telling Griffin earlier, like, it's a true movie from the 70s because in the first 5 minutes, dude, set of tits.
Yep.
Big old 70s titties, too. Like,
Yeah.
no fake
Torpedoes.
boobs up in here.
Yeah.
Meat flaps. Triangular.
And this, like, it's different watching it now, right?
Yeah.
Because, like, in the context of like what's going on, like whenever most people, I'm assuming myself definitely, think of Michael Myers, right?
Yeah.
Think of Jason, think of Freddy. You think of older individual fucking on younger people, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Michael Myers was 21.
Mm-hmm.
So he was around the same age as the people in the movie.
And you could
And
tell,
that-
like, this was the first, you know, the first movie with him in it. Because I was like, sometimes I was like, he's walking a little bit too fast.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? When he had that little pep in his step, I was like, slow it down, dude.
yeah.
You don't walk that fast in the other movies.
A scene that stood out to me now more than it ever did, especially now that we've got a series of sequels and reboots and reimaginings and everything. The whole sequence where she's sitting at the desk in the classroom
Mhm.
and
Looks out
they're
the car.
talking about fate
Yeah.
and how no matter what variant exists, you're gonna always meet the same fate, and that type of shit.
Yeah.
It echoes even more now, and to me, it shows how, even though some of the sequels were good, some of the remakes were bad. So, some were good, some were bad, some were exceptional. All of them stayed on target with that.
Yeah, they're true north.
And at the end of the day, that's a respectable. That's just really cool. Like, it's cool that they've done that. And also, this movie, like, I have, considering it's a revisit now post Danny McBride sequel.
Yeah.
This made that movie even better than it already was.
That's the one we're watching next, right?
With with the refresher on the context and the way everything played out in the film. The second one it's the sequel this movie needed a long fucking time ago.
Right. Does a really good job of building suspense and tension, because just him, like, the car in reality was kind of a unaccredited actor in the film. You know what I mean?
For like the first fucking 45 minutes.
Yeah, if not longer. I mean, the majority of the time you see him every now and then, but you see that car with that big ass sticker on the side of it, like, more than anything. They did a fantastic job at making him. Well, yeah, but making his presence known, but you never really know where he's at.
I like the way they did that though. For like the longest, like every now and then, like when he was standing by the car and she looks at him, like you'd see him at a distance.
Yeah.
But then when the camera was like up on him, it was always like over his shoulder, and it was low. Like it made him look real tall. It was kind of low, and like when he's walking down the sidewalk, when he's in the car and it's just riding around in the back seat. I liked that a lot. I was like, this, good shots in there, man.
So there's kind of a debate online of what the first quote unquote slasher film is.
Mm-hmm.
And there's, let's see, 3 examples here. But this is what the
big one.
Psycho?
Yeah, Psycho, not American Psycho. It's a slasher film, right?
I believe that's one of them at least.
Probably have to be the first. Is it on the list?
Right. Well, on this list right here, it's saying Bay of Blood, which came out in 1971, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Black Christmas. They both came out in 94. Yeah. And John Carpenter's Halloween, one of the highest grossing independent films of all time, provided the cinematic template that would be reused again and again as slasher films became more popular. So it's like, was Halloween technically the first slasher movie? No, but
everyone borrowed from it.
Yeah, it introduced all those tropes. The kids. Yeah, the pacing, the kids doing drugs and sleeping around and all this kind of stuff. The killer that's showing up and like
creeping.
Yeah. But the one thing that this kind of had that all the imitators never really had was the doctor.
Yeah.
Dr. Loomis, right? So you've got Dr. Loomis, and he knows what's going on. He knows the threat that this guy is, and he knows like that he's on a mission to do some kind of fucked up stuff, right? And like Friday the 13th and stuff like that, they warn you before you get there of like what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But those people kind of fuck off and don't show back up. You know what I mean? And like in Loomis's defense, he tried. Now I don't know what he was. I don't know what he was trying.
I'm with you on that.
He stared at that house for 3 hours.
Yeah, he was out wandering the streets, dude. Man about town.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, he's coming here. They're like, how do you know, dude? When he got off that phone, and there just so happened to be a truck right there.
Yeah,
and the matches and the shit he was wearing. I'm like, oh wow, what a coincidence.
Yeah,
You didn't even see the
perfect.
body. I believe I'd have
Yeah,
looked around a little bit more. Um,
yeah,
here's the bad lieutenant decision number one was going to the hospital and giving the motherfucker a vehicle.
yeah, right. Well, if he's the doctor, why does he have to go right that second? I mean, did they ever explain why him
Nah,
and that nurse are going there?
nope.
So what the fuck were they
He
doing?
just he was like, we got to move him, and
To
she's like,
fucking where?
yeah, in the middle of the night, dude, when it's raining.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm like,
fuck
this is
that.
almost like a scene of a movie.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's just, you don't really get that question answered. And then it's like, he shows up, he goes to the house and everything, and like, they don't want to tell the press because there'll be people everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But like, first of all, don't tell the press. I agree with you on that. But why the fuck do you not have every fucking cop?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, it's almost like they didn't really take it seriously. Like,
Yeah,
he was the one, he's like, I know what this dude's capable of. And they're like, he may not even be coming here. He can't drive.
we'll
He's
see.
like, he did
Yeah,
pretty good driving off that night.
yeah. So,
Did you guys notice? I could tell after the first, and I never thought about it before, like the last time I watched it or something, but I could spot every piece of that breakaway glass.
yeah, me
Because
too.
it looked like plexiglass that was already
Yeah,
split,
yeah,
and when they
yeah,
would punch it, it would open up like so they could reset it and do it again, and then
yeah,
and then I started to spot it like when she was at the back door and that rake was on the thing. I was like, that's a piece of that breakaway glass. Looks different than all the other glass, like
yeah,
kind of foggy. So just picking up little shit like that.
yeah. Well, and like, isn't most of the things which that it's I think people always assume that like in the first movie it's established that like that's his sister, right? But of course we just watched it and you don't get that. She just happens to show up at the house
Mm-hmm.
while he's there to drop the key off because somebody was going to go in there and take a look around and possibly buy it. Which
Mm-hmm.
in reality, let's be fair, this never would have happened because that house
Would
in
have been
that
torn down,
location,
dude.
do what?
I said it would have been torn down.
Or somebody would have bought it and renovated it.
Yeah, it was just weird how it was a really nice neighborhood, and then all of a sudden, spooky fucking haunted house right in the middle of everything.
Yeah,
Like
I'm
that wouldn't have been there. That's bringing down property value for everybody. Like,
yeah, right. I would be pissed if that was my neighbor. You know, for real. So I don't care who got fucking murdered in there. Either tear it down or fucking renovate that bitch.
yeah,
But no, I mean this. Like a lot of stuff that we've watched on here, it's just it set the template. It set the groundwork for everything that come after it. And in a great way, because it's like, if it wasn't for this, we wouldn't have horror icons. We wouldn't have Scream. You know what I mean?
yeah,
We wouldn't have all this stuff. And if it wasn't, they did it the right way. They did the whole less is more. And they, made a really decent story
yeah,
to be the first one. And it's like now you watch it and you're like, yeah, I've seen this movie 1,000 times.
yeah.
But no, this came out in 1978. Nobody had done this
No
before.
one, and the people that went on to make these movies like grew up on this movie. They
Yeah,
saw it when they were a kid and was like, oh, that's you'd be terrified. Like
yeah.
this motherfucker
But
never stops.
I mean, it's kind of the same thing that we see in cycles, right? I've always equated the superhero movies to westerns.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, there'll be so many of them that they'll play themselves out, and then we won't get superhero movies except for maybe one every couple of years. And then horror movies is kind of the same cycle. You get Halloween, and then after Halloween, for a decade, decade and a half, you get slasher movies that just copy and paste the formula. We're getting the same thing right now. Hopefully, to fucking Christ Almighty, the tail end of it's happening right now. But all these possession ghost movies. There was a couple that came out in like the early 2000s that was very popular, and now everybody's copy pasting the haunted house formula in their own little low budget horror films. So it's a vicious cycle. Like, what's going to be next? Well, nobody knows, but when it comes out and it blows up, then that's what we'll have for a decade, decade and a half, you know? So, but no, I liked it, man. I
Yeah.
enjoy watching the Halloween movies. Like, I'm a sucker for like old, 70s and 80s horror movies anytime because they're just, it's interesting to see what they were capable of then. Like when all they had was practical effects, you know?
Yeah, and you can see that in the movie a lot. Like at the beginning, the way they're like, "All right, how are we gonna stab this chick to death? We're gonna shoot it through the mask,
Yeah.
and it's gonna be moving back and forth. So all you see is just a little bit of blood on her. You never see her get stabbed. Like,
Yeah.
and they would do that a lot. Like when he comes in on her, and the light gets cut off.
Yeah.
That really helped out
Yeah.
with the scenes. It's like you make it look a little more realistic if it's a little darker and you don't have a fucking spotlight on them.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna give it a full star. I'm gonna go ahead and rate it.
Oh yeah, dude.
I really enjoy it.
It for sure gets a full. I really sat down and this was a good copy.
Yeah.
I think I can't even remember the last time I watched it, so it's been a long time. But I like really sat down and watched it, man, and was like taking in all the shots and like you said, man, those steady cam shots, and man, they were fucking steady. Yeah. You remember when they were in the classroom though, like you were talking about earlier? When she was looking out the window, it reminded me of that scene from It Follows.
Yeah.
And they even did some shit like that, like in the Freddy Krueger movies.
Yeah.
This scene where they're in the classroom and they're looking out the window, because in the classroom you can't really freak out. You gotta be cool.
Yeah. I mean, people already think you're weird, you know?
Him standing behind that car, dude. Did she poke him in the eye with that coat hanger?
Yeah, yeah.
No more wire hangers, dude.
No more wire hangers. All plastic.
Did I already mention the fact that she threw the knife down next to his body 3 times?
No.
Oh, she did. And the girls in this movie, they don't know how to open doors.
Well, they're only worried about one thing, dude. And that's somebody to open their door up. You know what I mean?
Was that chick's dad the worst cop ever?
Yeah.
When they pulled up and he was just like, "Howdy, girls."
No.
And she's like, "He smelled it." No, he didn't. I'm like, "Yeah, he did."
He didn't care.
He didn't give a fuck, dude.
He even said it to the dude. He was like, "It's kids parking, getting high, and trick or treating. Like, it's kids being
Halloween,
kids,
baby."
Yeah. So.
And then the music that they made for it, dude. Like, how iconic is
Yeah.
the Michael Myers fucking Halloween music? I feel like everybody knows what it's from.
If they don't know where it's from, they definitely know that tune.
Yeah.
And that tune in and of itself promotes the anxiety.
It does, man.
Because you're waiting for it to like drop a key.
It never drops though. It just builds.
It
builds. But yeah, man,
So.
I give it a full star. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Excited to see the next one.
Do you give it a full star, Trav?
Full star. No, it's a full pumpkin. Damn it.
Might be something going on with your stuff there, dude.
I don't know what's going on either, man.
It sounds like it's raining.
Well.
But you said full star? Oh, he left. You said full star?
Say it's a full pumpkin.
Oh, yeah, dude. It gets 3 jack-o'-lanterns.
Yeah, let's do it. 3 jack-o'-lanterns, man, for sure.
And we'll rate the rest of them on that.
Okay.
Do they sell butcher knives that big?
No.
Okay. I was like, I've never seen a knife that big, dude. That knife was like as long as dude's arm.
No, that was the one that Jessica White had.
Yeah.
So I put
Put
the
the
looks
butcher
like-
knife to her neck.
That looks like a knife that would make someone a forged in fire champion.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the next one since it plays off of that. And
Yeah.
Danny McBride's gonna take us.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch it. Very excited.
Let's get into a little Lovecraft. Was it Country?
Lovecraft Country?
Yeah.
Or otherwise known as Shit Has Come to Light, the show.
Yeah. So at the beginning of it, it opened with them standing in line, right?
Yeah. They're on their way to this funeral service for the kid.
Yeah. And we didn't see the kid die.
Nope.
We just hear them talking about how beat to death, barbed wire around the neck, thrown in the river.
Let me ask you, when this episode started, were you like, did I miss something?
Yeah.
Because, like,
Yeah.
the last time we saw Tig was hopping out of the portal with the book and just left.
Yeah.
And then now here we are. And it's like, what happened? Like, whoa, we got a little time jump here.
Well,
and
I
his
thought
dad's there. So everybody's come back together now. I think this brought them all back together. Like,
well, I thought that it was going to be
what happened to him?
No. I thought it was going to be the chick. What's her name? That went, that got stuck. Yeah, I thought it was going to be her's funeral that they were going to.
Mm-hmm.
Because just kind of the way that, you know, the little girl was freaking out and all this other stuff and all these people showing up, I was like, well, I mean, they were popular, obviously, because, you know, Uncle George, everybody knew Uncle George, right?
Yeah.
And everybody knew her. So I was like, well, maybe like they're giving her a funeral, and they don't know what we know, obviously, about her wanting to go back to be with her daughter and all this kind of stuff, you know? That's what I originally thought. But then they start talking about it and kind of explaining that, you know, this little black kid that's around that girl's age.
What was her friend that she was hanging out with? We see him in several scenes.
Yeah,
when they're playing cards and and I do believe y'all this is actually based on something that happened. Like in real life. Well, they kind of based it on something that did happen to a kid.
Yeah. But kid got beat to death. They tied barbed wire around his neck, tied him to something heavy and threw him in the river. And then, you know, of course they find the body and all that good stuff, and they're having the funeral for him, and like the little girl dips out, like she, you know, she's leaving. Yeah. She doesn't know what's going on with her mom. Everybody's there, but her mom's not there. What the fuck, you know, all this kind of stuff. So
Popo rolls up.
Who?
The Popo rolls up.
Oh my God.
Well, they found the card at the scene of the crime.
Yeah, the comic
book. They're like,
book.
are you know, what's her name? Are you Freeman?
Deanna.
Yeah.
Deanna?
I think that's it. Shit gets real weird right here.
So one of the officers pulls a piece of chalk out and writes on the top or the brick below her. And then dude spits hawks a loogie in his hand.
Yeah.
And rubs it on her fucking forehead. And they're like, do you know about magic?
Yeah.
So the fuck y'all talking about?
He
like in fantasy
some shit.
Yeah.
It follows.
How fucking creepy was this shit?
That shit was kind of creepy, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Every
was
time
very
she
creepy.
looked down, like, and they kept putting her in these situations where she's looking down a long, like,
a long tunnel or hallway
or something, and then here they come out, and they'd always bust around the corner like, "What's surprise, motherfucker?" You know, and then do that weird dance all the way up to her. That was creepy, dude.
It was very creepy. So I'm just going to take this character by character. So she devises a plan. She goes back to the cop, and the cop's like, I can make it go away, but you got to do something for us, right? And she's like, she spits on him, tells him to go suck a dick, you know, and all this other shit. And like, she goes to the garage, and she's got a master plan, right? She gonna lock all the doors except for one. wait for him to come in, and then she gonna fuck him up with this pipe.
Going Negan on him.
Yeah. This pipe was like straight out of Streets of Rage.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Old style fucking beat 'em up,
Yeah.
side scroller. But anyway, then she starts drawing like crazy.
Yeah.
And
Pictures of 'em.
she's drawing the way they look. I guess if
In
she
case something
kills
happens
them,
to her.
well, and
That's
then
what I
but if
thought.
I was thinking that if she kills them, that would be the proof of what they look like.
Yeah.
Because they came from Uncle Tom's cabin.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's where they first kind of showed up at. And I guess because whenever she walks away from the cops, you see the eyes on that poster move,
Yep.
right? So I guess whatever she saw that kind of gave her a bit of a fright is how it manifested itself. Yeah. And that's what it was. It was like, the thing on the cover, like a deformed looking thing on the cover of Uncle Tom's cabin. But there's two of them. There's a white one and a black one, you know, which is even scarier, twice the fun. But she's in there fucking them up, and Atticus's dad hears this shit, runs down there, and is trying to stop her, and then you see her arms and shit start getting fucked up.
Yep. And he can't see them. She can only see them.
Yeah. And then it's like, well, what the fuck, man? Like, look, if my niece or nephew or anybody was fighting invisible shits, I mean, I don't want to say that I'd help them.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to stop them.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to walk the other way. I'm not getting involved. I'm not going to mention it.
Yeah.
I'm not getting involved.
PCP.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm going to make sure they're good, and then I'm going to walk away, But, that ended her story, right?
I guess maybe. I don't know.
Well, I mean, in this episode, it ended her story.
Oh, yeah. We'll see what Hippolyta does about it. We know we also saw the car. The car's back.
Yeah, well, Atticus took the car, right?
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And he stashed it over it.
Yeah, so when the girl saw the car, she's like, is my mom dead?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. So, and then at the beginning of the episode, Atticus dips out. He's looking for the little girl, and he meets up with Birthright, or whatever the fuck, that chick. And he's like, I'll give you the key to the time machine if you give me or if you teach me how to cast spells.
Yeah.
And she kind of like half-ass, that's what I got out of it anyway, was a half-assed attempt at trying to figure out how to cast spells, And she's like, you got to have, this rune is a rune of protection, and it's like you got to have a sacrifice and blood and all this other crazy shit. And he's like, well, fuck it, like, I'm going to try to do it. And so he shows back up to the house, and he had a bad feeling. You could tell. On his way up to the door, he had a bad feeling, but he was just like, what the fuck? And he gets to the door, and he sees the slippers there, right?
Yeah.
He gets inside, and fucking the Asian chick's there. And like, she's explained everything to Letty.
Letty's pissed. It's like, it's a chick from my past.
In Atticus's defense, right? How do you explain that you were fucking an Asian chick and these tentacles came out of her fucking nose and went into his eyes?
All right. So when he first met Letty, probably would have been hard to explain that. But at this point,
yeah, you're right.
She'd probably pick it up. But I mean, it happened. This was something that happened a long time ago.
Yeah.
There's no point, you don't want to sit there with your new girlfriend and be like, look, I was fucking this chick. And it's like, what? Because they're going to get mad.
Yeah. Regardless.
But he was just like, it's something that happened. We don't have to go there.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing she told her everything. Like, she saw him die.
Yeah.
I'm guessing she spilled her beans.
Yeah. You never spill your beans, boy. Well, and to speak on that for a second, so when he goes into the tunnel, he meets someone with a metal arm, They give him the book and they push him back through the opening.
Yeah.
That's what he tells his dad happened to him. And the book is written
By his son.
by his son, George.
Hmm.
And it explains the family history, but some things have been changed.
Yeah, which was kind of cool how they did that.
Yeah.
Because I've heard that the show's a little different than the book, and when they said that, I was like, that's clever.
Yeah. So, but he read the book, and in the book it says that the blonde-headed chick sacrifices him to be able to become immortal, right? And he's trying to get a protection spell to stop that from happening to him so he can grow up or help raise his kid.
Yeah.
So that's his whole motivation to getting this spell is to stay alive long enough to help raise the kid, because it sounds like whatever the fuck happened to him is happening soon because he's in a hurry.
Yeah.
And he tries to explain that shit to Letty, and she's not having it. She's like, you fucked an Asian bitch, and you're trying to summon spells and all kinds of shit. Like, she's just not having it at all, you know? So he's like, fuck it, I'm gonna go do it. And then you finally get something in the show that I wanted, was this kind of reconnection of him and his dad, right? And the way that they did it to me was kind of perfect. Him walking up, and his dad sitting on that curb, and he's like drinking out of that flask and everything, and he's like, did you cheat on my mama? And then dude doesn't say anything, so he walks off, and then he said, I had urges, but I never once cheated on her. I waited until she had passed. Yeah. And then they kind of rekindled their relationship a little bit there. Yeah. He told him, he's like, Letty's pregnant. She hasn't told me that she's pregnant, but I already know that she's pregnant, and here's how I know. And then he explains the whole thing, and then he just kind of comes to the realization, you know, Atticus's dad is like, look, man, I can either be a piece of shit, or I can do the greater good thing here and make sure that my son is okay and that my grandson's okay.
It's time for him to make up for everything
he's done. Yeah.
Redeem himself.
Yeah. And they have that moment, and that was so like you can tell, you know, that both of them are very similar in a lot of ways. But you know, I can see a lot of the stuff that, you know, Atticus gets from his mom and everything, but like seeing them kind of work together and see, you know, that's like whenever he was sitting there and he's like, I always mess words up like that. And he's like, I'm dyslexic. And he said, since when? And he's like, since I was a boy, you know? He's like, shit, you know, why didn't you ever tell me that? And it's like, well, you know,
came up.
Well, not only that, but it could also be seen as a sign of weakness, right? I'm dyslexic. I can't read words and numbers right, you know?
Yeah. How you reading all those books?
Well, you
know.
You got to reread them. Yeah.
It takes him a little longer.
But we get like the protection.
He helps him do the spell.
Yeah, and this is what's weird. Like, you would think that Atticus would have had to conduct the spell, right?
His dad read it.
But the dad read the spell while Atticus was in it, and that just feeds a little bit more into my theory that it's the dad that's coming from all that shit, and not the mom. You know, it just feels that more like that to me as things go on. I may be wrong, of course.
Well, I mean, that sounds right, because how could he do a spell?
Yeah, I mean, he shouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. So anyway, he does the spell. Then Atticus is like, you know, they had that conversation. Do you feel any different? He's like, no. And he's like, do you feel any different? Nah, you know, I feel the same. It's like, all right. Well, then he leaves. You know, of course, Atticus leaves, and he goes back to the house where Letty and Letty's sister and everybody's holding up, and the cops show up. And they were coming in to get that planet thing, right?
Yeah, that's what they were looking for, which isn't there.
Yeah, it hasn't been there for a while.
It's at the Hippolyta's place.
Yeah. And dude can't get in because magic.
Yep.
And but now he also knows that they be fucking with some magic from
Yep.
time to time. And he's like, "No, fuck this. I want you to shoot the house down."
Yeah. Kill
And
everybody inside.
they open fire. Atticus rolls up. They point the gun at him, fixing to shoot him. As soon as they shoot, this fucking Lovecraft dogs, that's what I'm gonna call them,
Yeah.
comes out of the ground.
And the reason I think Letty was running out is because at this point
She's bulletproof.
she's got the spell that the Wraith
Yeah.
White girl has.
Yeah.
That she traded the negatives of the pages from the book
To get
to protect her.
Yeah. Which makes sense. Like, because the chick,
Well,
the birthright chick,
Yeah.
knows that she's pregnant.
Yeah.
Obvious. Everybody knows she's pregnant at this point, you
Yeah.
know? But that makes sense though, because it's like if she sacrifices Atticus to become immortal and she needs to do something else, then there'll still be another bloodline. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
There'll still
the
be
baby's
a
got to
descendant.
live.
Yeah, so that she can fuck with the baby later. So,
And
know.
it was part of her plan. You could see that.
oh yeah, for sure.
When she
yeah.
got up to walk away and she's like, "Wait a minute." She just smiled like, "I got you."
Yeah. Yeah.
I got you. And then
Yeah.
so then cuts back to the end of the show here. She's sitting there getting these bullets are just like bouncing off of her.
Yeah. There's like a bubble around her.
Yeah, kind of like when they tried to hit them with the car and
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
little force field.
Yeah.
So they run out. She's gonna run out and try to, I guess, stand in front of him.
Yeah,
protect
that's what
him.
I was thinking. Yeah.
And he don't need help.
No, he's got backup already. He don't even
This
know it.
fucking thing
Yeah.
with goddamn 16 eyes.
That thing was cool as shit.
It was
looking,
cool,
right?
dude. It fucked them up. It looked like those
Yeah.
things. Remember those things in the woods?
Episode 1?
Yeah. It looked like
Oh,
that,
yeah.
but a little different. It had all these
Well-
extra eyes and shit, and it had a little different color to it. And
Yeah.
like those
Well,
were
and-
wild, and this one's not.
Yeah. Well, the birthright chick was able to control the ones in season 1.
Right with that whistle.
Yeah. And then it looks like that's his quote unquote protection.
Yeah.
So it's like, is his dog's going to fight her dog?
His
know what
dog
I'm
was
saying?
badass.
His dog was throwing cars around,
Yeah. It
flipping
fucked
shit
them up
over,
quick spark.
blowing
Police
shit
chief
up.
was like,
I'm
"We got to get the fuck out of here."
yeah. He got fucked up, did he
I
not?
think so.
Yeah, I mean, so whatever the police chief, and all right, this is another thing I want to throw at y'all. Something I didn't 110% fully understand.
When they put her in the water.
Yeah, when
That's
they
what
beat
I
the
was about
dog
to bring up. Okay. She pays these guys. Remember now, the kid had barbed wire wrapped around his neck,
Yeah,
and they threw him and they pretty much did the same thing to her.
yeah.
And then she just busts up out of the water. And
Yeah.
she's fine, and it's like, why?
Well,
Now, what it seemed like was it's like was she seeing if the spell worked? Was it like she was testing the spell? And then
Well,
the same spell like she put on the girl, she's like she wants to see like is there any way you can kill it?
right. Well, and
I
that's
couldn't
like,
figure it out, man.
I don't know, because the dude that she transforms into or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
he's got that burn mark on his chest.
Yeah, now she's got one on her. Letty's
Yeah.
got one on her stomach.
Yeah. So it's like he's not going to die.
Mm-hmm.
And she's obviously had this thing done to her for a little while.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. It's like, I think that's going to be explained more, of course, in another episode. But it's like, what was the purpose of that?
Yeah.
Unless, I mean,
They
because
did it
she's
for a
like,
reason.
yeah, because she paid him to do it.
Yeah.
So does that mean she paid him to do it to the kid?
I don't know.
Maybe to get everybody back together?
Because it worked.
Yeah, I mean,
That's kind of what got the ball rolling of getting them all back together. Like at the
Yeah.
beginning when they're standing in line, and his dad's like, "I got you some water," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"All right, we're back together now.
yeah,
You know, this is
yeah,
gonna bring us all back together. You're some tragedy."
yeah,
And that's that's what got now. That's what I was thinking too. Like,
yeah.
did she do that to him or
I mean, at this point, might as well.
I
You
wouldn't
know
put
what
it
I mean?
past her.
No, not at all. So, I mean, we got what, 2 episodes left of this season?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're gonna obviously see her full plan come to fruition, and her try to like summon, or her try to become immortal. Because and like that's the thing, she wants to become immortal, because her dad couldn't, and
Mm-hmm.
kind of prove it to herself that she can. Blah 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 whatever. Um, but I mean, there's going to be a lot of shit happen. So I think this is my predictions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Atticus's dad's definitely going to die.
Yeah, I'm thinking so.
Impalata, or whatever her name is.
Hippolyta. Empanada.
Hippolyta. I don't know. I can't. Yeah.
Caramel
Anyway,
apple empanadas, please.
yeah. She's going to show up.
Yeah.
And save the day at some point.
She's gonna fuck somebody up, dude.
Yeah. And I think that Letty is going to do something crazy. This is the thing. If George is technically Atticus's dad,
Mm-hmm.
then wouldn't that mean that George's daughter has the same blood?
Yeah.
Well, no. Well,
Because they
no.
got different moms.
If it came from the mom's side.
Yeah, then it would be different. And then here's the thing, dude. We were talking about. I just thought about this a minute ago. The dad read the spell.
Yeah.
I mean, the police chief was doing magic.
Yeah.
He ain't got the blood. Well, wait a minute. Because his torso.
Is some other torso.
A black
so
man's.
does he technically have the blood?
It could come from. Yeah, I mean, that could explain that.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. There's so many fucking questions.
Yeah. Like so many questions.
Just when you like get some answers.
Yeah.
The next one that comes out, you're like, what? That was the only thing that threw me for the loop, man, is when she paid those guys to do it. I'm like, why is she doing this? Like, what's the purpose of this? Like,
yeah.
What are they trying to tell us?
Yeah.
Well, she can't be killed.
Well, it's like, but we already knew that.
How,
you know what I mean?
You gonna beat? How they gonna beat somebody that can't be killed?
I mean, you'll have to cut her head off, right?
I don't know. Well, the spell has to be lifted, right?
Yeah.
Because her father had the spell, but he had to lift it in order to do the other spell.
Yeah.
So you got to trick them into releasing it.
Right.
I don't know, man.
I don't think that the blonde chick is gonna die. I think she'll get away, and she may pose a problem in the future or help them.
Yeah.
Depending on the situation, Or maybe they like kind of imprison her like they imprison the siren chick with the pages.
Yeah.
Or something similar to that. But I've been enjoying it. We've said this week after week, and it's just, it's so interesting to see like this take on it and kind of like what they've been able to accomplish. Like those transformation scenes are still like some of the best transformation scenes I've seen in anything in a very long time.
In this episode when it happened?
While they were fucking?
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
The skin just started shedding off of her.
Did you think that whenever the sister, Letty's sister came down there and she was like, I got all these emotions, man. All this stuff's happening. And she's like, do you care? And she's like, no, I don't care. Did you think for a minute that they were going to that she was going to kiss her?
Yeah.
I
thought now
that
she knows that it's the woman.
Yeah.
And she's still fucking him.
Yeah.
You think she's trying to get her pregnant?
Can she do that?
I mean,
I don't know.
She's in that man's body.
Sperm only swims one way.
Yeah.
But
wouldn't that
saying?
Be crazy?
Yeah, that would. But what if she got the white version of her pregnant?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
She's only pregnant when she drinks the potion?
Yeah. She's pregnant for like 12 years.
That when they shed that skin, dude, that's so cool. It looks real as fuck.
It does.
The way they just it just falls off of them. Yeah.
Yeah. So
good job.
Yeah. But no, man, I'm excited as always for the next episode because it's just better and better, man. Better and better.
Oh yeah.
You want to hit some movie news real quick?
Yeah, man.
So, I've seen this kind of going on, and I haven't read it, so I'm going to read it here. Jamie Foxx to return as Electro in MCU Spider-Man 3. Live action Spider Verse is finally coming together after J.K. Simmons, J. Jonah Jameson made the leap to the Marvel Cinematic Universe in Spider Man Far From Home. It appears that Jamie Foxx is the next Spidey actor to rejoin the franchise. Foxx's Electro, one of the villains in The Amazing Spider Man 2, is going to be joining the ranks of the MCU in the upcoming Spider Man movie for Marvel and Sony. According to Hollywood Reporter, Foxx is in final talks to play Electro once again, this time opposite Tom Holland in the MCU. At this time, there's no telling exactly how Foxx's character will appear in the new movie, or whether he will even be the same version that he played in the second Andrew Garfield Spider-Man film. The multiverse of the MCU is being dealt with thanks to Avengers Endgame and the upcoming Doctor Strange sequel, so it stands the reason that the Electro that Fox played in The Amazing Spider-Man 2 could be making a direct jump between universes. However, given all of the complications that would stem from multiple Spider-Man and the severe hatred that the Electro design received back in 2014, it would make sense for Fox to simply play a new version of the character. Simmons appeared as J. Jonah Jameson at the end of Spider-Man Far From Home and really opened up the possibilities for previous Spider-Man characters to return. For now, however, there are no other casting announcements regarding characters making comebacks. I thought that, and we haven't done it on the podcast, and if we do it on the podcast, I'm, of course, interested to revisit it, but I thought that, the Amazing Spider-Man 2, I thought Andrew Garfield was a great Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I also thought that Jamie Foxx's performance as Electro was great.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, he did get a lot of shit online about the way he looked, but I didn't really mind the way that he looked. I mean, we all know that they're going to change the costumes up,
Yeah.
right? So it's like,
get past that.
Yeah, I mean, look, man. Everybody wants to see their favorite comic book hero or villain in their classic decor, right? Like their classic costume, their classic everything. But as we saw in the WandaVision trailer, it doesn't translate right on screen. It looks like a Halloween costume. That's why he was wearing that as a Halloween costume. You know what I mean? So like, let's just leave well enough alone. And I think, of course, Jamie Foxx is going to kill it, right? I mean, he always kills it no matter what he's in. So I'm super excited. If he's coming back, whether it's for the same Electro or a different Electro, it doesn't matter. Like, bring him back. Let's do it. Let's have fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was interesting, though, man. I mean, the only thing that there's only two other actors that I think that they could bring over and like people would flip their shit, right? I think that you're going to have Doc Ock, the original guy that played Doc Ock in Spider-Man 2.
Oh.
If he came back over and played Doc Ock, which him aging is actually going to be beneficial to the character, or Willem Dafoe coming back over as Green Goblin.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are the only two other ones that you could technically bring back and people would absolutely lose their mind over. Like some people have been excited about the Jamie Foxx stuff, and I get it. And some people were just like, man, it's Jamie Foxx, it's Electro. But if you bring one of those two characters back, one of those two villains, you would have the whole fucking Marvel fan base flip their fucking shit. I mean, the only way that they could top it would be bring back dude as Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire. You know what I'm saying? But that'll never happen, I don't think.
No,
it might, but
I don't think we're gonna get a Bully Maguire.
No, so. But next up, this was something that I thought was pretty interesting as well. So last week we talked about Tony Stark and we talked about Robert Downey Jr. kind of renegotiating his contract, right?
Mm-hmm.
interested to come back and do more Tony Stark things if, if the money's right, but also if they find a place to fit him in, which makes sense. But right here we've got Marvel has reportedly they reportedly plan to sign Ryan Reynolds to the biggest deal in MCU history
ever.
Yes.
And it says there like it's not just dollars they're talking, like movie, like probably number of movies is going to be like crazy.
Yeah. It says even though Deadpool 3 is in active development at Marvel Studios, that doesn't necessarily mean that Ryan Reynolds is under contract. The star may have taken meetings with Kevin Feige, but there's a real possibility that he hasn't signed on the dotted line just yet, especially when he's got a total of 13 projects in various stages of development. Many of them are a lot further along than the Merc with the Mouse Marvel Cinematic Universe debut. Based on the fact that the 43-year-old announced that he's starring in a new movie, what feels like every other week, we could be a long way away from seeing the fourth wall breaking character suit up alongside the rest of the MCU's roster of superheroes. Of course, there's been no shortage of speculation as to how, when, where, or why this could happen, but none of that matters if the leading man has yet to agree to terms with the studio. According to insider Daniel Richmond, man, don't name your insider, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Marvel is certainly keen on having him stick around, and apparently Feige wants to sign Reynolds to the single biggest deal in MCU history. Although it isn't made clear whether that's financially or creatively, either way, it would be a pretty huge statement. After all, Sam Jackson and Sebastian Stan both signed 9-picture contracts, while RDJ's final negotiation saw him walk away from the Avengers Infinity War and Endgame doubleheader, a reported $150 million richer.
Damn.
As the second highest paid actor on the planet, already behind his good buddy Dwayne Johnson, not to mention a talent that doesn't mind being simultaneously attached to a large number of projects. This deal could realistically either be the biggest one financially or the biggest one in terms of appearances, or both. Regardless, Deadpool 3 might not be happening in the immediate future, but if Reynolds ends up signing a 10-picture contract, then Feige will no doubt look to rush Wade Wilson onto the screen as soon as possible to start getting a return on his investment, and that can only be good news for fans. So, this is what I think. And let me know if you're picking up what I'm putting down here. All right. Unfortunately, due to the passing of Stan Lee, we do not have his cameos in Marvel movies going forward, right? But
we got Deadpool.
Who would be better to kind of make an appearance in every Marvel movie and just be a complete smartass?
Your favorite smartass, dude.
Yeah, and make comments about whatever's happening and then disappear. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they could sign him to like a 15-picture deal, but he could only show up for 3 minutes.
There might be a few of them where he sticks around a little longer.
Yeah. I mean,
could he be the link to the X-Men?
I mean, technically, yes.
Yeah.
Because, well, think about it. Cable's from the future, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cable comes to the past, and that's how he winds up there. Well, what if that's how they cross the gap?
Mm-hmm.
They accidentally cross over to another universe instead of traveling through time. Like, somehow they fuck it up.
Yeah.
Because Deadpool, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, that's just what I'm thinking about,
Ryan Reynolds is fucking awesome. So whatever they do,
yeah,
I'm down.
Yeah, and I think that it's going to be just a really interesting way, and I would love it. Like, me and Travis had talked about this before, and I think I've talked about it on here. Like, how awesome would it have been, like, during the final fight in Endgame,
oh man,
when he just shows up, like, teleports in, and he's like, "I'm not. Where are we?" and they look over and they see Thanos, and he's just like,
Yeah.
it's him. And then he just like, we got to get out of here. We got to get out of here. Like him and Cable are both trying to get out, and then they just disappear. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
He's like, who's the guy with the nutsack on his chin?
Yeah. And then,
You know, he
yeah,
says something
exactly.
smart ass like that.
Say,
Yeah.
who's to say that's not gonna be a sequence that like if
That could even happen. That could happen.
if him and Cable are doing some time hopping shenanigans, they at one point they twist somewhere and they go back to the end game fight and Deadpool's like, let's go.
Yeah.
Here's what I just pictured in my head. Like, they pop through the fight, and they're standing there watching it, and Deadpool's like, this is the really sad part, and it's when Iron Man's dying.
Oh my
And
God.
he's sitting there eating popcorn, crying, you know?
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, we can leave now. It's
Yeah.
like, it gets me every time.
I've
Yeah.
seen enough.
People would fucking love that, man.
Yeah, they would. And I think that to me that would be like, of course Deadpool is going to be a knockout hit, you know,
Yeah.
because of Ryan Reynolds. But I think if they used him as kind of the linchpin, like not to the extent like Robert Downey Jr. and all this other stuff was, but just have him popping in and out here and there and making these comments and like maybe helping them or hurting them. You know what I mean? Like he could show up and fuck everything up for them and like not even meaning to.
And he
you
could
know?
run into anyone, dude.
What would be
Guardians.
what would be amazing is if they had a sequence where they're it cuts to a sequence and Deadpool and Cable are there or whatever, and he's talking to Death.
Yeah.
And they find a way to tie it to where like they show up and it's like, yeah, this is why Thanos was really mad, and it showed like him put his arm around Death, like because in the comics, Deadpool cucks Thanos. It's hilarious.
Well, how funny would it be if they showed up and him and Cable standing there and Thanos is standing there and he's like, wait a second. And he looks at Thanos, looks back at Cable, looks at Thanos, and he's like, you guys kind of look very like similar. Like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like just having that moment, just playing on the fact that it's the same guy, that's very Deadpool,
Very Deadpool.
Or he just goes, I know y'all's secret. And he runs off.
He shimmies away. So I'm excited though, man. If they're in talks to bring Ryan Reynolds in and Deadpool is in the name, and whether it's creatively or whether it's like financially or whatever, because you know that more money means more films.
Or what if it goes so far as it's just a narrative role? What if Deadpool becomes the narrator for the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
He could do that. That would be great. I mean,
with certain films, that would require like that could have that levity there.
Yeah. So, but
whatever it's gonna be good.
Yeah. Was there any other movie news that anybody saw?
I haven't really seen any, much this week going around. I did see where there's a new Godzilla anime series coming to Netflix.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
It's gonna be fucking great.
Yeah.
The guy that worked on and I lost the article. He was one of the producers in the Joker movie. He wants to do. Do y'all remember Mr. Freeze from like the old Batman animated series?
Yeah.
Yes.
He thinks that would make a good like villain movie, kind of like the Joker movie. Kind of like its own standalone thing. No Batman.
A Mr. Freeze film would be good.
Yeah, and kind of go dark with it. Don't
well, I
mean, like what they did with the Joker.
I know this is something no one would probably ever consider, but like, what if you took Mr. Freeze's character and you applied it to like a Beyond the Darkness style, like concept, where not necessarily this weird horror. Well, I mean, you could make horror elements, but you could make his obsession with bringing Nora back and finding a cure. You can see all the horrible shit that he'll do.
Yeah. No, I'm right there. I'm right there on board with you because I think that his story is a classic tragedy where he takes the left path instead of the right path. And it could really, just like they did with the Joker, really show the identity crisis that comes along with it, and just the breakdown of like morals and everything goes out the window when it's someone that you love and care about that's at stake here. And I think that could convey into something very, very interesting and very beautiful to a certain extent.
The aesthetic you could apply to it as well. Like, you go from him being a respected scientist, and you have the film start where he has like this really like clean, sterile laboratory. Like, he's got all the funding he needs to do what he's doing. And then by like the second half of the film, he's in like this dingy ass basement abandoned building. Cords, wires and shit are everywhere. It's just this crudely thrown together. But the science is accurate, so he's
Yeah.
like, he's still got his woman in a jar, but it's just very macabre looking in a way, like a almost a Den of Horrors style feel to it.
I know he's busy with the Mandalorian, but I would love to see Gus come over and after seeing that artwork play him, because back in the day they gave us Arnold.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, let's go with someone. Let's take it. Let's be serious about this. I don't want to see Jason Statham in the fucking Mr. Freeze costume. Like, let's go fuck him up.
Well,
I think
everybody chill.
Him or Mark Strong.
Yeah, someone a good actor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He would be
Mark
perfect.
Strong would be.
Yeah.
Whoa,
Mark Strong would be a great choice for Mr. Freeze.
He almost looks like him.
Yeah, I mean, all they got to do is
nose and the.
Yeah.
If we wanted to go for like the female audience, I guess, to like kind of get some people in seats. I know this sounds left field, but Tatum could play a good Mr. Freeze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think with given the proper prep time, he could nail it.
Yeah.
I do have a little. Go ahead, man.
Because that's the thing. He hasn't done the movie yet that's made you go like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like his turn.
Well, I think even old dude from Neighbors that was in the Ted Bundy movie could pull it off as well. Zac Efron.
Yeah.
Like, look, I'm not a true lover for Zac Efron, but
he's a good actor.
Yeah.
Huh? Riddler's played by Paul Dano in the new one. They said a good one. What was the actor again? Walton Goggins. What villain would he be perfect for? She said he would be a great Riddler.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I could see that. Very flamboyant.
Real, like just over the top.
Yeah.
They're picking up what you're putting down. Like, yeah,
dressed like Elton John,
Yeah. I think that he might even do a. Who was the villain in Arkham City? The Doctor, Dr. Hugo.
Hugo Strange.
I think that he might be a good Hugo Strange, but give him a little Southern drawl.
Yeah.
Who, Goggins?
Yeah.
He would be a good Strange.
Yeah. But yeah, sorry, Adam. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Nah, man, I thought I'm going on to another little honorable mention. I don't want to go too deep on this. I don't want to talk about the old series because we've talked about it.
Dig's got a parody idea that's great. A Batman spoof where it's like a really fat Catwoman and like David Spade is Batman.
Oh god.
Super tall Adam Driver is the penguin.
Adam Driver is the penguin.
Would be funny.
God. You need to get a casting job, dear. That'd be a good comedy.
Is it? Are we fixing to hit Walking Dead territory?
No.
Nobody gives a shit about what Batman does.
It is confirmed. They have started casting people. We are gonna get another Game of Thrones prequel
series.
And remember, they canceled everything.
Yeah.
But now they're gonna do the House of the Dragon, and I think they've already casted the dragon riding Targaryen king. And that's expected to air in 2022. 10 episodes. Chip.
Well, they've got plenty of people to pick from because Vikings is going off air,
Yeah.
right?
Wait,
And they're
is there?
I think
They're
they're
going
wrapping
off?
they're wrapping their final season up right now, or it's the next season that airs is the final season. But they're definitely going to have plenty of people here very soon that's going to be jobless that could fill any of those roles. You know what I mean? I think honestly that's a good idea.
Yeah.
If they push it out later, they kind of let that
Yeah.
bad taste in
Yeah,
everybody's
yeah.
mouth kind of die down, and
Well,
then people start revisiting Game of Thrones,
Yeah.
and the hatred and the disappointment will die down, and it'll go into like episode 1, 2, and 3 Star Wars territory.
I mean, it's already started, man. Like at work, there are a few random coworkers that I know that we all whenever Game of Thrones was airing, that the final couple seasons, we were all on top of it with one another. You know, we'd be like, "Hey, did you check it out?" and whatnot. And they were part of the group that was like, "What the shit?" They were pissed
Yeah.
off by the ending and everything.
Right.
Well, here recently, one of them had come back to me because I was explaining, I was in defense of the finale.
Yeah, same.
I was like, man, dude, y'all, we saw it coming. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know why y'all are mad. Like,
Yeah.
she was gonna lose her shit. But anyway, they had revisited and they said that this go around, they were like, yeah, you were right. You know, like that type of thing.
Yeah. Well, it's all hindsight's always 2020, right?
Yeah. The issue though, man, with the prequel, I've read a little bit of the book I think they're gonna pull from, which is Fire and Blood.
Yeah. That 300 years before the other stuff.
The issue is that the way that the book sets up the Targaryens taking over Westeros, it's literally the same way that the show ended.
So they'll have to change it.
Or almost the same. Well, it's the same way. Once Daenerys reached Dragonstone and she was in Westeros proper, the way she slowly tried to conquer the area.
Yeah.
The OG Targaryen did it the same fucking way. And so it's that whole history repeating itself thing, which is what the show was about.
Yeah.
And I don't think that could carry itself as a prequel show. You know what I mean? Because you know, I mean, obviously, I would be satisfied visually because you know it's going to have a ton of money pumped into it.
Yeah.
And when the original series started taking the more, you know, whenever it started having more fantasy elements more often, like with the dragons being the size of buildings, you know, thousands of CGI dead people, all that kind of shit. It looked good just on that budget alone. So imagine now the type of shit we're gonna get.
Yeah, I agree.
Like aerial dragon fights, like just visually absolutely hot for it.
Yeah,
but
I just thought that was cool that it's back on track.
Kind of meh, you know.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
2022, 10 episodes. And we'll see, you know, as it goes further along, we'll see who they're casting.
Yeah. Which is great. I mean, we'll be able to get in on the ground floor with this, kind of like we're doing with Lovecraft, and go week to week like we did with the last couple of seasons of.
And even though it's not probably, I mean, even though we've covered it by watching the show and it tells a story, I'm gonna always keep my thumb on the pulse with the novels, because when they inevitably come out, if ever, I'm gonna read them, and there will be a comparison and a final trab stamp. I don't want to call it a tramp, but you know.
I'm calling it a tramp.
And
does it get the tramp?
Might. Hopefully, we'll have to find out.
Well, I'm ready for watching some of these trailers, and the main reason is for that first trailer
This
because
Borat
I haven't
trailer?
watched it yet.
I haven't watched
Yeah.
it either.
I've been incognito for the last couple of days, so I've been straight off the grid, you know?
Yeah.
So I have watched the Borat trailer.
You seen the full trailer? You remember we watched the
Yeah.
teaser? Okay.
It was.
Little diminishing
I'm ready when
returns.
y'all are. I know that in some respect yes, and in some respect no.
Yeah.
Some of the shit he says, some of the shit he says in this trailer makes me hopeful.
This is the thing too, man. Is it's going straight to Prime Video.
Yeah.
We're not doing a theatrical release here, and I kind of expected that. Like,
Well, I mean, let's face it, Sacha Baron Cohen's comedy is very niche.
yeah,
Yeah. It's amazing that Borat made as much money as it did.
yeah.
I went and watched it 2 or 3 times.
I'll
'Cause it
never
was-
forget my uncle was in his late 60s, and him asking me if I saw the movie where the guy had that fist.
A rubber fist?
Yeah. And I'm like, Borat? And he fucking said that shit was hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, you know.
But yeah, let's
Yeah,
check the trailer out.
Yeah.
I want to go ahead and just sink this disappointment into you guys. He has taken the trope of old character who has a child now.
Right.
All right.
I'm all right with that, though. We'll see.
That's the thing. But I mean, you know, like Bill and Ted did it, Jay and Silent Bob did it.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like a trend starting with it.
All right, y'all ready?
Yeah, ready when you guys
All
are.
right, 3, 2, 1, play. I bet he falls right back into it. Yep. Oh, he looks older.
Oh my God. He's a celebrity.
Oh God. What,
He's straight Southern as fuck.
We're in the
ain't
South
she?
again. Oh. Holy shit. Oh shit. Hit it with that pen squint, dude.
I mean,
Well, that drops soon.
I'm certainly, yeah, this month, dude. I'm watching it for sure.
Always got to go to the South, dude.
Always, right? What's more dangerous, virus or the Democrats?
Oh man,
That's so
I knew he was gonna
fucking.
have some Trump shit in there too, like
Yeah, for sure,
running
right?
around in a Trump costume. Kid, I put a baby in daughter. Have you ever done this? He's like, we do not take the baby out here. No, we don't do that. That is not what we do.
Yeah, this is Netflix, right? War-torn South Sudan.
His house, y'all ready?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play. I recognize that voice.
Is that Matt Smith?
It was Matt Smith, dude. For sure. I thought that was his voice. Oh, they don't like him. That's Letty's sister, isn't it?
Yeah. Is that the crack from Doctor
I was
Who?
about to, is that her?
I think it looks,
just like her, dude. Yeah, that's her, dude. Looked it up. There's fucking something in here.
Yeah.
I don't think Matt Smith would have taken the job if that script didn't have something good in it.
So,
Well,
Country, the movie?
yeah, right. Well, this is the thing about it too, though, man. It's like, it's interesting, like, because think about it. We watch horror movies that have fucking people staying in houses,
Mhm.
and you're like, just fucking leave, dude.
And they're flipping it here, like they're like he's kind of lost in it. She's like, we should probably get out of here, and he's like, I'm not going back.
Well, they can't. They don't want to go back to where they came from. It's
Yeah.
like we would rather die than go back to the country we just escaped from. So we've
Where
kind of
if
got
we
to
go
deal.
back, we'll probably die.
Yeah, so it's like, what do you do? That's kind of a genius way of making a horror film like that. It adds more tension to the situation.
Yeah.
So,
Different.
yeah, I like it.
When are they gonna give us a fucking real, like a trailer? I want to
I
see
know.
what's in this.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Monster Hunter, you ready, Trav? You good? 3, 2, 1, play. Yeah. God damn, dude. You're gonna need to go back to the spawn area and upgrade your weapons to beat that thing.
Yeah, for real,
So
right?
need some more armor too.
So this was really just a taste of popcorn, you know?
Yeah, a little shot of a monster.
I was a little bummed that it was just that,
Another teaser.
but I don't know. I'm
gonna watch
hoping
the
this.
shit out of it.
I'm hoping it's an underdog film because I know expectations for this are very low.
I'm sure it will
We're
be.
podlocked on it.
So I hope it becomes at least something.
Yeah. I'm excited about this next trailer because I've seen people talking about it on the movie news sites and stuff. So,
What's next?
Arch Enemy.
I saw them once.
Dun, 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 dun,
I've
dun,
never seen
dun, dun, dun. I'd love to
Y'all
see
know what I'm
them.
talking about.
Back when they had Angel in the band. Anyway, I'm ready.
Yeah. You ready, Trav? Here we go. 3, 2, 1, play. Trailer came out today. Oh shit.
I'm already sold.
I recognize that guy. Fuck is that?
That's
Oh, okay,
Joe.
yeah.
Yeah, Joe Manganiello or whatever.
Oh. Hmm. He's going full Punisher on him, dude.
Yeah. This shit looks good, man. Yeah.
I'm interested. I'm guessing at some point he's probably going to get a hold of the source, right?
Or is he just a crazy homeless guy? You see what I mean?
It's
Yeah.
called Arch Enemy. What if he's a banished villain?
Yeah. What if?
Oh.
Yeah. I
I'm
want
down
to
to watch
watch it.
that.
Yeah, it looks really fucking good.
Oh, because the guys that's made both of those films, dude,
Yeah.
both great films.
Yeah.
He hasn't put out a bad one yet.
355.
Yeah, I'm not. It's got Jessica Chastain in it, so you know. Yeah, we'll see.
All right, come on. 0 Dark 30 and 3, 2, 1, play. Another. She loves making these movies in Washington, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Hackers.
So her again?
No, that's the chick from When I Was a Girl.
Us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Charlie's Angels over here, dude.
Yeah.
This doesn't look very good.
Was that the Winter Soldier? I think I saw the Winter Soldier.
Sebastian Stan.
This trailer's got too much in it. For the Avengers. I mean,
So,
We are not this movie's demographic.
no, but this is the thing, right? Action flick, female starring cast.
action chicks.
Terrible fucking name.
Yeah.
Like, if they would have changed the name to something a little bit more marketable, then this would be a super fucking mega hit. Because everybody that goes and watches the Fast and the Furious
Oh, yeah.
shit would go to the movies and watch this.
Mhm.
They're really missing the mark on the name. The 355, what the fuck does that mean?
I think that's what Eminem said in 8 Mile when he was rapping. That's one
Is that
of
where
his
they got
lines,
it?
Probably.
So,
I can't
Like,
wait
something-
to see this movie. The next
That
one.
sounds like a road or a train or a
It sounds like an interstate in
trans-
LA. You
like
gotta
a
hop
piece
on
of-
the
yeah.
355, then you're gonna hit 20, and from 20 you're gonna take
Yeah.
35 all the way around.
yeah.
I hate when people try to tell me shit like that. I'm like, dude, I don't know where those fucking roads are at, man. Okay,
Yeah.
what's the goddamn address?
I've got a GPS.
Yeah, dude.
basic rudimentary landmark explanations, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. If you come down, if you see a big tree with a red truck, you've gone too far. It's like, dude,
Yeah. The truck's been there for 25 years.
that happens to me all the time, though, where I'm like, just give me your address. And they're like, nah, GPS won't work. Let me tell you how to get there. And I'm like, dude, just give me the address.
Yeah, I'll
The
pre-Google
GPS will
it.
work. I'm using Google
Yeah.
Maps. I'm not using VZ Navigator or that fucking map shit they have on iPhone. Like,
Yeah.
Google will get me there. It'll
Yeah.
get me close enough that I can read your fucking box number. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I'm ready for this next
I
trailer.
can't
I'm
wait to see
excited.
this. We saw like a little teaser thing just but
Yeah.
a minute ago, but
Yeah.
this is gonna be fucking hilarious. All right, free guy. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, play. He's walking around like a bot
Yeah.
in a game, and like he's. Oh, that's what he is.
Yeah. He's an NPC.
Yeah. Dude from Stranger Things. Little Truman Show going on. Oh yeah.
Okay.
They definitely give us more in this trailer. Like, I
Yeah.
didn't know she was playing a video game in the last one. They didn't show that. On the set of Inception. That looks great.
Yeah, it does, right?
Yeah.
I'm ready for spell. Seashells by the seashore.
Nice dad. All right, 3, 2, 1, play. There's no audio. Okay. Mm. They know magic too.
Okay.
They were in an accident too.
The fuck?
They're cutting it out so they don't get flagged. Looks interesting. Ah, there's something going on here, dude. Got something to do with all that fucking voodoo shit. Like misery.
Yeah.
Fuck is that? I'm putting a thumbs down on it just because the fucking trailer audio doesn't work.
Yeah.
I'm down to see some voodoo shit, man.
Yeah.
She
Holy
ripped her
shit.
teeth out, didn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he can't scream.
Mm. Did she pull his tongue out?
What it looked like.
Mm.
It looks interesting.
Yeah, it does, right? The witches.
Is that
This
movie
has
already
got,
out? Because somebody said this movie is good, but the trailer shows too much.
I don't know. It's got Anne Hathaway in it. Oh, the original was back in 1990. So is this a reboot or a remake?
Oh no, it said this Halloween, so drops on the 30th. Thriller horror.
I'm ready.
And I had that. What was that movie? Skeleton Keys,
Yeah.
where they were playing the record. I
Yeah.
remember that crazy ass movie.
I remember. I remember.
We got witches.
Yeah. Anne Hathaway.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play. HBO Max. Chris Rock, dude.
Who's Pody Tang?
Reach out, I'll be there. Be there. Oh, you were talking about this movie.
Yeah,
I've seen the old one.
yeah,
Y'all
I
remember
have
where the
too.
kids were in the hotel and they were shrinking themselves and turning them into rats?
Yeah,
They're like turning the kids into rats and they're taking their souls. Something. If they eat the candy. The original though, it showed the kids and like you could when they turned into rats, it was funny because it was like practical effects.
yeah.
The rats. You steal my little grandbaby. Robert Zemeckis. Yeah, I remember that movie.
Yeah. I remember. I remember it.
Surprised there. Is this fucking dude?
Glenn? Yeah.
Oh, he was dead.
Yeah. Well, he did get beat to death with a baseball bat.
Ooh, A24.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited about peeping on this thing.
All right. 3, 2, 1, play. Ooh, is it 4? Oh, we don't like your kind around here. Grandma smells like Korea. I believe it's pronounced Konnichiwa. Him and Grandma gonna get close.
Yeah.
Grandma's probably gonna die. That's when she dies. Looks serious as fuck.
Yeah, it does look serious, but it doesn't look bad though.
Nah.
I'm interested.
I remember seeing
Drama.
that dude that plays Glenn. He was like,
Yeah, authentic. You know,
yeah.
he's speaking the father language. You know, the mother tongue. The mortuary.
Action.
Yeah. Somebody says Tales from the Crypt vibe. So.
I'm old. That's what it says under it. Yeah, let's check it out. Wait, what's this thing? Somebody said Mr. Krabs works at the Krusty Grave. Okay.
Must have dude in it.
All right. 3, 2, 1, play. What the fuck?
So giving birth?
I don't know, but it's a Shudder original, so it's gonna be fucking.
Yeah, that's Mr. Krabs. Clancy Brown.
Dude. I didn't know that guy did Mr. Krabs' voice.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm in, dude.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Clancy Brown. I'm down like Clancy Brown, man.
Some really cool shots.
Yeah.
Like when that
yeah.
woman was screaming in that hallway.
Right.
Yeah. Lighting guys are killing it.
Yeah. They're making their money today, guys.
Look at all the comments, dude. Oh yeah, do you love me? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
do you love me?
I'm single.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm ready for this.
All right, buddy games. 3, 2, 1, play. Like, dude, I'm down.
Yeah.
That was the same warehouse that Cliff was standing outside of.
Yeah, it was.
Looked just like it, didn't it? What was that movie that Will Ferrell went streaking in?
Um,
Where they went back to college?
Old School.
Yeah, I'm getting kind of a,
Yeah.
you know. Oh shit, Olivia Munn.
mm.
God damn. Holy shit, dude. This shit looks funny, man. He bit its tongue. Like, you know who that made me think of?
Who?
The hot dog guy.
Oh my god.
That does look funny, though.
It does, yeah.
Really good time. Who the fuck is this motherfucker?
I don't know, but it was the only sci-fi trailer that I could find, so I'm ready.
All right. 3, 2, 1, play. Alien movie. Like how they.
Yeah.
It's an alien
Generic.
movie.
Living in the woods.
Homeless guy. Vlogging. Place looks crazy, man.
Yeah.
Oh.
Simulation. Hunger Games.
I was about to say that, dude. Yep. Battle Royale, dude. Survivor, dude. Where's the aliens? Are the aliens doing this to them?
I think so.
Galaxy games, dude.
Yeah. Galaxy Games for sure, right?
That looks interesting, but there was a lot of chuffa in that trailer.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
for
saying?
real.
That didn't need to be in there. I felt like I just watched 3 trailers.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Documentary?
Yeah.
For a minute, I thought it
Malay.
was a biopic. Oh, wouldn't that be awesome?
Who
They
could
fucking
play
did a biopic.
Belushi?
Oh, dude. You got to get an unknown.
Yeah.
Somebody that looks like him that can.
They can
I
pull it
don't want him to
off.
cast his brother as him. Like,
Fuck no. Fuck Jim. All right, I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, play.
Oh, time.
Kind of sad. That's the thing about him, dude. Like, he died too early, man, and like,
Yeah.
you didn't get enough. Like, you didn't get to know him.
No.
Like, imagine this dude on like podcast or being on Rogan.
I know.
Same with Farley, dude. They
Yeah.
they died before, like, now everybody's got a podcast and
Yeah.
everybody has a presence online, and It would have been nice if they would have stuck around long enough to.
I mean, it's got everybody.
Yeah, that's the best you can do with something like this. Is you have to get all their
Yeah.
friends to do it to tell their story.
Yeah.
Like, I'll watch it. Oh man, just imagine, dude, an episode of Rogan with like Belushi or Chris Farley on it. Like,
Yeah. Imagine the stories that those guys
Yeah.
had. You know,
the closest you can get to, like David Spade, you know, to Chris Farley is like Dan Aykroyd to Belushi.
yeah.
That's his Spade.
That shit's gonna be sad.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fucking sad, dude. Echo Boomers, Michael Shannon. I'm ready.
It looks like it's got Arnold's old boy in it.
Yeah. Patrick
Yeah.
Stewart Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Oh,
toy it with. All right. 3, 2, 1, play. I saw a screenshot online and it looked like a Payday. They're on this mask.
Yeah.
Bank robbers. Robbing banks. They're hitting houses.
Is Michael Shannon gonna be the wrong one?
Oh, he's boss man. Yeah, you did. That little Dicky? I just saw little Dicky, I think.
Yeah.
Is little Dicky in the crew? That was him standing in the back of the thing, I think. There's no fucking way Dave's in this movie. I gotta know. If not, that motherfucker look just like him.
Little Dicky. Hi, Dave. Who's Dave? So, what are we doing next week? Danny McBride Halloween?
Yeah, 2018.
Fucking right. I'm excited.
I haven't seen it, dude.
I haven't either. But I am ready for it in a big, bad way.
I've seen a few clips from it that I watched with Trav. We watched a few one night.
Yeah.
Like the one at the beginning and when he gets his knife, and it looks great.
Right. The way God intended it?
Yeah, and it's got that. I like the color grading.
Yeah. I'm excited, man.
We're going to see if fucking McBride's got it. What a curveball.
Yeah. But, Pill and,
yeah.
I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and just tell y'all that I already gave it a star.
Mm.
You give it a jack-o'-lantern?
It's already got the full jack-o'-lantern for me, man.
With the candle in it?
Do what?
With the candle in it?
Oh, yeah. Burning brightly.
The pre-candle, We got the pre jack-o'-lantern over here. That's fine. That's good. But yeah, I'm ready for it, guys. I'm excited to see it.
All right, guys, keep it real, keep it rigid.
Checks in the mail.